Oh, I'm back. Right. Oh, I'm sweating now. Too much trouble that opening that. It doesn't help with all these lamps around. Right, now, you've seen part one, you've seen the unboxing. So we'll go through all the bits now. I found the decal sheet, it was hidden away in the bonus gun for some reason. So we'll start, as we mean to go, we'll start with the, we can't see it yet because I haven't put the camera down. But we'll start with the front sheet and dig the decal. Have one water. We'll start with the instructions, I think. That may take a while. I might take a couple of videos with the instructions. There's 48 pages, like I said, and 64 series. Just bear with me. Right. Now, I have something else to show you here. Have a look at that in a minute. I'm not sure on the rules on this. Right, now let me just put the camera down and then we'll get on with the review. My first, oh shit, sorry, I nearly broke the watch. First impressions, I've seen reviews of it online. I've even seen it being built online. I've left a light on out there. Silly Billy, that's wasting electricity. And then I've seen it being built online. And it's got quite a bit going on with it. And as you may know from other videos, well, you may not know because you may not have seen them, but in my other videos I've done an inbox review of HMS Hood, which this thing sank, unfortunately. Massive loss of life, of course. And I've also got the Prinz Eugene and the Prince of Wales, HMS Prince of Wales. So I've got the four main models now for the, I might try and put them all together in a minute and show you them on the video at the end of the video. I can't take photos and put them on YouTube. What was I saying? So I've got the four main ships now that were at the Battle of Denmark Strait. I did think about buying the wooden version of this, the Marty version, but it's too expensive and I couldn't afford it, unfortunately. If it ever came along before I start building this, well, you never know. It'd be probably be a waste though, because it'd be stupid having this one and then not building it and building a wooden one. But certainly the Prinz Eugene, the ochre version of that, it's quite expensive. But if I can afford it at some point in the next year or two, I might invest in it. I don't know. It's a shame there's not a 200 scale version of the Prince of Wales. Crying shame that. But there we go. Let's get this sorted. Right, excuse me while I get this. I will do it as I did yesterday, but I'll look at it upside down. Let me zip in on that. Right, there you go. You can see that, can't you? Right. So, instruction book page. Well, the front page is just before assembly, decal application, picture of the ship. You get a good idea of the camouflage on it there. Tools to be used. And various bits, the usual call outs here for the various bits and bobs. Use or super glue. I try not to use super glue on plastic models. I only use them when you can't do anything. And we've got the usual, I might be able to get closer to that. Let me see if I can get a bit closer, that's better, and you can see it a bit better. Hopefully that stays in focus. The problem is with this camera, of course, as I've said umpteen times in some of my other reviews, it's an old camera and all the stuff is at the back. I've got no control over the front of the camera, and I've got a remote, but I don't know why it can't be used on when you're doing movies. You can only take pictures, which is a bit strange. But anyway, I digress. So we've got the various bits that are going to be they're going to do the deck, and the hole in the deck, and the various bits of there's probably bridge work up here. I was quite surprised at this deck. It was in one, well, not surprised it was in one, well, to a stage I was surprised it was in one piece. I expected to see it in at least 3 pieces like most decks are. And it's a big deck, but we'll come to that in a minute. And then all the screws, there's a lot of them as you can see. In the first part of the video I can't remember what I counted now, but there's quite a few of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm doing it on a piece of cardboard. Let me see if I can make it look better. 7, 8, 9, 13. Ignore that. 13, 17, 21, 25, 29, 30, 34. And this is all photo etch. Then the turrets. Not on sprues though. So there's 34 sprues on this. There's a lot of sprues. And we come to the hole. First stage is building up the hole, as always. And as always, I wouldn't do. Maybe put some of that together. I'll maybe put some of that together. And maybe put the propellers on. We'll see about that. And it's got the 2 strips separate. I'm not sure about bow. I mean, there's something about this bow. I can't remember what it is, but there's something about that bow. I'll have to check on that. Let's see about what's happening with that bow. That's a fair old hole though. But this will be, as I've done with the Queen Mary there, I will put this on a pedestal. It will be bolted onto a pedestal to work on. So you don't have to move, you don't have to touch the kit. And then we've got that there. So these are what looked like a stand. It was not. It was strengtheners to go inside the hole. Then we've got now you see now here, we've got the deck literally going in place. And then supposedly, what's this is now? This is built up here. I don't think that's built up in I don't think it comes like that, I'm not sure. But in here, of course you would be doing this, putting it into the model. And then you're doing the a bit of the superstructure there, which is going to go over here, fit over here. So whether I would do that at that stage, I don't know. It's sort of, I prefer to work on the deck first, but working on a whole deck, this is what is a real bugbear. It's not a big deal. I mean, you could be silly and chop it in half here somewhere. I don't think I will, but it'd be a bit silly to do that. But it would have been better if this deck had been in 3 pieces, so you could work on a section at a time. Because working on the entire deck in one go is that length of deck. It's quite a chore, that. So now we're into, as with a lot of these things, you get a lot of stuff with armaments first. Anchors, well, I suppose the anchors I'll let them off. Now a lot of this I won't get the Pontos kit. Nothing against Pontos. But to get the Pontos kit, I've already looked into it for the hood and for this. And it costs £425. Well, the kit themselves costs £370. It costs £425. Wherever you're sending, wherever it's being sent from. I've seen it in, well, Pontos themselves, obviously. There's BMS, BMA, whatever it is in Australia. And the other recommended one. I think it's Squadron in the USA. But they all, once you put it into the basket, it all goes, and there's a place in Poland, it all goes up to £425. And that's only that postage to get it to wherever it's going. it's then got to come through customs, and it costs over £100 in cost to get a big model like that through customs. Once it's all boxed up and all the stuff's in, the weight is unbelievable. So it costs about 500, and I think once I put it in, it comes to £525. I'm not paying that for an upgrade kit. If it was available in the UK, I might think about it, I might have thought about it. But Pontos are not very good for their instructions apparently, so you know, they're hard to follow from the people I've seen building with them. So I'm not bothered about the Pontos kit. It's the MK1 kit I've got for the hood looks absolutely brilliant, and I can get that for this. It's not the same as Pontos, not as many pieces, not as detailed as the Pontos kit, but that's more. I know with the Pontos kit, when I've been watching people using that and building with that, you have to replace an awful lot of stuff. So with a lot of these things here, they would literally be thrown away and replaced with photo etch. With the MK1 kit, it's more of it is an upgrade, but it's more of a sort of enhancement. So it enhances everything, and it looks, they look good anyway. It's got a lot of parts to it. It's got all the brass parts to replace a lot of the mass and what have you. So I'll invest in that at some point. I'll make work for myself, which I don't like doing, but well, as I've said before, I can't stand photo etch, but then at the same time I love it. Now once again, you know, separate breakwater, so I would put that in. It doesn't look all that detailed, we'll see what it's like. Never done that with a kit before. Breakwater's always been on the actual deck. So that will probably be replaced with photo etch. There's photo etch here, little photo etch ladders, so some of the kit photo etch. Or maybe these two bits that have gone in have been put in. But I think a lot of this would be replaced. So there's photo etch down here. There's the vents, which will be replaced with photo etch. There's the bow. This is just the bow deck. This is I just don't like the idea of a massive big long deck like that. It's not terrible, but to work on one part of the bow and then have to, you know, try and work on the other part of the bow, you're in danger of knocking stuff, and because of the length of the model, you know, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. I can see it causing all sorts of problems. So you've got two little hose reels or fire reels, whatever they are. They'll be replaced with photo etch. We've got more vents. Now this is the thing, you see, there's PE in them vents, so they supply PE. But sometimes the PE you get from the likes of MK1 is far better than the PE that comes with the kit. And the other handy thing is you have two lots, of course, so if you make a mistake you've got one to fall back on. But these vents, I know with these, you know, these ammo boxes or whatever they are, I know with the Pontos kit you have to build up, you have to replace them and you have to build the whole thing up. With the MK1 kit you just put a top on and it looks just as good. You know, so it makes a nice enhancement. Makes it a lot of work, of course, because you're looking at, I don't know, it'd probably take a year or so to build something like this. Another year for the HMS hood. Probably looking at about maybe 2.5 years. And then take the, I'll do the Prinz of Wales last because I built that once before. If I then do if I do get the money together, if anybody's watching this and wants to wing 500 quid over to me, you know, feel free to. It's, not how much the ochre kits cost. But if you know, you never know. I might buy the ochre kit in the end, the wooden kit, 200 scale, Prinz Eugene. But we'll see. But anyway, I digress. It'll take about 2 years to build these two big ones, maybe longer. I reckon about 2.5 years. Could push 3 years for the Bismarck and the HMS hood. So the Prinz Eugene and the Prinz of Wales, they'll take a lot less. The Queen Mary got quite a bit of stuff in it. It's taken me 5 months so far. So you do get through plastic model kits quicker than you do with a wooden model. It just takes time with all the PE photo etch you put in and all the extra bits and bobs. So that takes time. But once you've got that done, well it's not too bad. So yeah, you're 2 to 3 years, and then another year to build each of the other 2. So I reckon you're looking about 4 years to build maybe pushing 5 to build the 4 ships. If I buy the wooden one, you'd probably be pushing into 8, because it took me 2.5 years to build the wooden Titanic. So the ochre kit, and you've got the anchors there and the anchor chains. So we'll see. I'll probably stick with the plastic one and see what else I can get after that. So now we're on to more of the deck fittings. Once again, it's all, you know, a lot of this is, oh, there's these things again. I should have looked at what they're called. I can't remember what they're called. They're like little torpedoes. I think they're dragged along under the ship, aren't they? Along the side of the ship as a sort of, I can't remember if there's something to do with finding the submarines or something. But probably if anybody's on watching the video, they might be able to correct me on that, tell me what they are. You've got the little guns going in. I wouldn't put a lot of this stuff in at this point. Maybe some of it, but some of this I might leave till last. I'd probably leave till last, because a lot of this is just going in, and I reckon there's a lot of this going to be detailed up before you put it together. So I'll have to see about that one. You know, I mean, we're halfway into the deck now and it's got all these fittings on. But the beauty of putting these on as I found out with the Queen Mary, putting them on pedestals and bolting them onto a baseboard, is it's absolutely brilliant. I've obviously had to touch the model occasionally to do something, but literally I built the entire model without touching it. You know, once the hull is bolted on, all the decks have been put in place without touching. All the photo, you know, I've done it all without literally not touched the model. So it is better to do bolting these to a pedestal, big pedestal, of course. And then we're into the bow, which has already got the propellers on, as you can see. Now that, as I say, you don't usually put these on till the very end, because obviously you could stand the chance of knocking them off. But the propellers on the Queen Mary have not been touched. I've had them on there for months now, quite a few months. So once it's bolted onto a pedestal, it's safe to put all this together. So working on the hull is the best way to do it. You've got plenty of little bits and bobs here. And then you've got all the more vents going in, more vents. You've got all these little bits. There's so many little bits here. Well, on the door it looks little. Right, now we're up to the more bows. We've got little ladders going in, PE ladders. Now there's nothing about replacing these hose reels with PE, but I do know that on the MK1 kit, if it's like the HMS Hood kit, they're replaced. You build them up, they look better in photo etch. You got the capstans, which doesn't say anything about them being photo etch. They look like the plastic. They would be replaced with photo etch. You've got these silly little, look at the daft size of that. I mean, that's just stupid. It's that'd probably be replaced with photo etch. That'll probably be replaced. Right, we're going to run out of camera in a minute. Not camera, we're going to run out of time. So this is still working on the bow section. And we've got yet more vents going in. There's quite a few vents going in here, all going around these bits. We've got various lockers going in. See the capstans are here. Almost looks like an anchor. It should be for an anchor. Don't know if this had a stern anchor or not. We've got little, I can't even see what they are. Oh, depth charges. So we've got depth charges going in. Oh yeah, look, little anchor. So it's a stern anchor. whether there's one or two of them, because